The story of policing and criminal justice in the United States is a complex narrative that encompasses historical developments, social issues, law enforcement practices, legal frameworks, and ongoing debates about justice and equity. Here's a comprehensive overview. Historical context. Early policing in America has roots that trace back to early colonial times when community members enforced local laws. Night watchmen and constables were among the first forms of policing. The first organized police force in the U.S. was established in Boston in 1838, followed by New York City in 1845. This marked the transition from informal policing to professional law enforcement, the rise of professional policing. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, policing began to adopt professional standards influenced by the progressive reform movement. Departments integrated more formal training and established rules of conduct. The introduction of the police academy system and the use of advancements in technology, such as the telegraph and later radio communications, transformed policing operations. The development of criminal justice legal frameworks. The U.S. Constitution, particularly the Bill of Rights, shapes the criminal justice system. It protects individual rights and outlines the procedures law enforcement must follow. Landmark Supreme Court cases, such as Miranda v. Arizona, 1966, established rights for the accused, including the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. The role of courts. The judiciary plays a critical role in interpreting laws and safeguarding justice. Courts ensure that the rights of individuals are protected and that laws are enforced fairly. A system of plea bargaining has evolved, which allows defendants to plead guilty to lesser charges in exchange for reduced sentences, significantly impacting case flow in courts. Contemporary policing. Community policing. In the 1980s and 1990s, the community policing model emerged, focusing on building relationships between police officers and the communities they serve to prevent crime and address safety concerns. This model emphasizes proactive approaches, transparency, and community collaboration policing challenges. Modern policing faces various challenges, including managing public perception, addressing concerns about excessive force, racial profiling, and the militarization of police forces. High-profile incidents, such as the deaths of individuals like Michael Brown, Eric Garner, and George Floyd, sparked nationwide protests and discussions about police practices and systemic racism. Current issues and reforms. Calls for reform movements like Black Lives Matter have brought issues of police accountability and systemic inequality to the forefront, calling for defunding the police, reallocating resources, and implementing reform measures. Efforts for reform include enhanced training on de-escalation tactics, crisis intervention, and implicit bias, the role of technology. Advances in technology, such as body-worn cameras, surveillance systems, and data analytics, have been adopted to improve accountability, but raise concerns about privacy and civil liberties. Social media plays a significant role in Ho communities, engage with law enforcement, facilitating communication, but also amplifying scrutiny of police actions. Mental health and policing. The intersection of mental health and law enforcement has gained attention, highlighting the need for specialized training for officers and the development of alternative response systems, such as crisis intervention teams. Criminal justice reform beyond policing. The broader criminal justice system is undergoing re-evaluation, with discussions on mass incarceration, the war on drugs, sentencing reform, and rehabilitation versus punitive measures. The future of policing. As societies evolve, so too will the expectations of law enforcement and the criminal justice system. The future may involve enhanced community involvement, innovative technologies, and significant legal reforms aimed at achieving fair and equitable justice for all. Conclusion. The story of policing and criminal justice in the U.S. reflects the nation's values, struggles for civil rights, and ongoing efforts to balance public safety with individual freedoms. As these conversations continue to evolve, stakeholders, frontline officers, communities, policymakers, and advocates must work collaboratively to shape an equitable system of justice that serves everyone effectively. If you have specific topics or questions within this area that you'd like to explore further, feel free to ask.